Oh my goodness.
This is so funny.
Let's go.
Yeah. This is like the Mortal Kombat rhythm. You know what I'm saying?
KATSEYE! KATSEYE! Woo! Have you guys heard of the global pop group KATSEYE before?
No.
Never in my life.
So half the channel knows them really well and the other half are like, who?
Okay.
Really?
So
we've never reacted to
spot
that,
on
have we?
with our reactions.
Correct, but since they are a global pop group, I feel like they pop up in people's TikTok and Instagram recommendations a lot.
Dream Academy.
Can you guys make some noise for KATSEYE? Wow.
This first comment says, I came here after Gnarly. Man, I took this I took this era for granted.
Wow. All right.
In this video, you'll be comparing both their most popular song, Touch, and their recent release, Gnarly. The netizens have been popping off online, comparing the two songs, giving honest opinions about both.
What are netizens?
Like people online.
They're called netizens? Yeah. How do you spell that? N-E-T-E-Z-I-N?
N-E-T-I-Z-E-N.
So it's just like terminally online people?
Yeah.
So like me?
Yeah, you're a netizen.
Dope.
They've really started like a whole discussion in the K-pop reaction community. It's like literally every single, I wake up in the morning and I see 5 gnarly reaction videos from various different K-pop reactors that are out there.
I'm just seeing lots of thoughts on Twitter.
And there was one that came out the day after, so that's why I watched it. Yesterday was because I saw a video and I was like,
before I said, do not watch!
no, I'd already seen it.
So first up is Touch, released in 2024. The lyrics express frustration and emotional exhaustion over a one-sided relationship where the other person has been distant and unresponsive.
Damn.
Not that.
You feel that?
It hits home for him right now.
Despite the narrator's initial longing and overthinking, they eventually grow tired of waiting.
Hey, cut that out, cut that out.
They eventually grow tired of waiting and decide to move on, realizing their worth and setting boundaries.
Yes. Period.
The repeated chorus emphasizes the theme of missed chances and emotional detachment, highlighting that the other person could have had their love, your love, but failed to stay connected. The song is composed by Blake Slatkin, Kashmir Cat, Omer Fedi, and Taka Perry.
I've actually heard of Kashmir Cat before.
Oh, really?
I actually have.
Damn.
I'm proud. I'm proud.
I would not be surprised if you have heard this song before because it is all over Instagram, TikTok.
Okay, interesting.
Okay.
It was like one of the viral songs of 2024.
Kashmir
Hi,
Cat.
Sophia.
Hi, Sophia.
You're so
I'm such a
pretty.
big fan.
Southeast Asian pride.
Yes!
Yay.
I love everybody.
5 minutes later.
But like, multilingual queens also.
If you're hearing this right now, that means this video isn't monetizable, nor is it sponsored. Instead, this video is brought to you by you, our YouTube members and supporters on Patreon. Patreon and YouTube memberships are how viewers like you can support our team and also gain access to tons of exclusive content. Right. It is just one. But then it feels extra satisfying when we do.
I agree with you.
It's just so syncopated. Thank you so much to all of you who already support us. We really couldn't keep doing this without you. And now, back to the video.
Touch, touch,
Touch,
touch, touch.
That was wrong.
Go.
Anyway.
Sophia.
Sophia! Oh, I've heard this song.
This does sound familiar.
I like the repetition.
Yeah.
It's like setting you up for something.
Nice fade in.
There's like a dance challenge to this, right?
I can tell this music video is gonna be awesome.
Let's go. Okay, you Jay, let's go.
She's such a hottie.
She is such a hottie. Big slay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Nice.
I
4 over
like
3.
yeah that Hemiola-ish.
Oh my god, her voice is so beautiful too.
Lara's so pretty.
Don't cry, Lara.
That's the, yes.
The winks that she does are crazy.
It does sound familiar.
It does sound familiar, yeah.
That's so
Is it this?
interesting.
Is it this? Or is it, no.
The bass on this sounds nice. Super nice.
I like the choreo that they do with all of like the arm choreo that they do.
It was like a glockenspiel. It was like right on that note. I think it was a glockenspiel.
Oh yeah.
It's very like straightforward.
Yeah.
Double time groove.
The choice of synths really kind of adds to that sort of like
Yeah.
flowy vibe.
Ooh.
Good to know.
Don't do it.
Sort of the yearny vibe.
The yearning,
you know,
yes.
the yearny vibe. Whoosh. Slay.
The color change.
Are you guys gonna ever talk about the music?
No.
I actually haven't thought of the progression before. I should probably listen to that. Oh, skip over.
This is what I mean by Safion's like, why am I not included in the reaction? I talked about the music. I'm like, you just sang along the entire time. You said nothing.
Second listen.
Second listen.
It's all the sound effects too.
Yeah.
Is that like metal or glass?
They're also expressive too, which is just like so good. I love it. I love it about them.
You know what's interesting? I think that the harmonic rhythm of this song is so slow compared to like everything else.
Yeah. You hear that?
Yeah, I kind of hear it's like glass, like almost like glass
Oh
wind
no,
chimes
it's like
almost.
a glass or like woodblock sound.
I love the little video game laser situation.
That was it.
Short and sweet.
Straight to the point.
Straight to the point.
I forgot how freaking short
It
this
is
was.
really short. No bridge. It was just, you know, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse,
And it's
pre-chorus,
cute.
chorus.
I'm on board.
Very TikTok.
What musical elements are giving TikTok to you?
If you repeat a word 5 times, it's gonna be TikTokable. But it is also the way that you do it.
It's very inoffensive.
Because?
One note. Da, 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 da.
This is pretty like straightforward and repetitive to be like a 3.5 minute
Yeah.
song. That I was like, oh,
That was enough.
they made their statement and then
That was enough.
yeah, you've been out of touch.
Because like if they had added like a bridge and like slowed it down and like it would have been a little bloated. I think that was enough.
It's repetitive rhythmically, but they're saying a different word at least.
Music ed time. Music
Whoa.
ed time. This is like how all of the great like nursery rhyme songs, all the
Yeah.
songs that we learn as kids are all based off of like the same rhythm. Like so like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So you've- No, even no melodies. You da 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 da. You can recognize what song that is just from the rhythm, and it's while the notes change and the contour of the line changes a little bit, it makes it easy to remember. Happy Birthday is another one. So happy birthday da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ooh, different. Da 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 da. It's like always the case of like same, different,
Yeah.
or same.
It appeals to baby brain.
Yeah, and it appeals to all humans, you know? Anyone can learn music because, you know, you're able to recognize, as long as you're able to recognize patterns of some kind, you're able to learn music.
Which is a
as
human
long as you're
thing.
exposed to it. It's like teaching language.
Yeah.
If we're talking harmonies, there's one thing that I like this. They don't resolve it immediately and they do like an inversion. That's nice. But I had to really listen for something interesting. It's like, is there anything interesting in this stitch? Only by the last 10 seconds of the song was I like, oh, that's what the harmony's doing. The song is designed in a way to make you kind of just lay back, but really get it stuck in your head.
Is there anything about this chord progression that you think adds to the emotional or...
I think just the extensions, because it is like a classic, I don't know what, I can't remember what it is.
She's going into her Sherlock mind palace.
Is it, it's sort of Circle of Fifths, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Oh, it actually is Circle of Fifths.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a full Circle of Fifths progression.
It's probably crackers in my flute now, that's fine.
And what's this circle of fifth progression that you mentioned?
It's fifths in a circle.
Basically, it contains all of the
order of flats and sharps.
Order of flats and sharps, yeah. The relationship is all through a cycle of fifths or fourths, depending on which way you go. But the circle of fifths progression is a classic tonal progression as a way to kind of return to a tonic. Mm-hmm. If you keep going through, you go through all the pitches of the chromatic scale eventually. Bach is notorious for using the circle of fifths.
Yeah, well, and then there's like, it will kind of tell you which keys are closely related, which that's a whole other thing, because that can be a ton of different things, but basically like if something is a sharp or a flat away, it's likely to have a lot of similar notes, except for the one that changes. So C has no flats, F has one flat.
Well, theorists have found a way to explain it. So circle of fifths is a theoretical explanation for what composers have been figuring out since like medieval.
Yeah.
Like Gregorian chant. Oh wait, but I can add like a third in there, but then the third sort of adds like a weird implication where you have to go somewhere now. Counterpoint, which is something that it's a set of rules.
Everything was set by the Catholic Church.
The church.
Because they'd be like, that's way too sexy for church.
Crazy stuff.
You were like, that is blasphemous.
Yeah, no, it's true.
How dare you?
It's true, yes.
What does this have to do with KATSEYE?
We're coming back to that. So all this has to do with KATSEYE in that we say there's...
Sorry, we just went through the whole history of harmony as we know it.
Humans are hardwired to like and recognize
patterns like this.
It's meant to be catchy because it's been catchy since the beginning.
And the only reason why there's theoretical terminology and why we have a job is because we've made academic terminology to explain why that is. It's to explain why it is, which means that anyone who doesn't know what chords are can also be like, wow, this is a nice song.
This is catchy.
This is not discordant or weird. Exactly. It's just nice. Yeah. And I can enjoy.
Yes.
But I feel like what makes that repetitive chorus a little bit more spicy is how specifically the vocal layers are on a dissonant interval.
There's a lot of this. This kind of sevenths and suspensions.
So it started with G minor, and then it goes to first inversion 7, dominant 7, in major. So like root position minor, first inversion major, dominant 7. Yeah.
And then ta-da, you can hear like the fifth of that first C minor going up to A flat. So anyway, lots of choral layers that are kind of like still in the scale and related, so it feels like a really nice open interval that adds some non-chord tones, but they're not so like truly dissonant. They just add some depth, I think, to the harmony.
I will say
this production is so fun.
I will say the hi-hat sounds so pitched, which is like almost unusual. Hi-hat is a part of the drum set, and it's used with your left foot usually, and it's two small cymbals about this large. One's facing up, the other one's facing down, and they sort of concave like this, and they hit, and you can offset them so that way they don't get an air pocket. And it's connected to this mechanism, the hi-hat, and it's basically it holds one and lifts it up so it can slam down on the other. And depending on how much pressure you use with your foot, you can change the sound that you get. If you like close it and just let it barely touch and hit, you'll get like a sizzle sound, and then you can close it and sort of get this tight sound. But if you really push on it, it gets like this really high pitched sound that's almost super pitchy. And depending on where you hit on the hi-hat, you can hit here on the shoulder to get like sort of like a washy, like almost sound. and then you can hit here on the top, and it gives you a much more definitive, like striking pitch sound. And I feel like that's what they're doing here. For the entire time, you can just hear them like playing on the tip of the stick, like on top of the hi-hat, super choked, and it gives you almost like a pitch.
Almost a pitch
sound, yeah.
Does having instrumentation like glass bottles and that very pitched hi-hat add anything to this song for you guys?
Yeah, it's badass. It's what it is. It's just badass.
I don't know.
No, probably
no,
not.
No, I
Not
agree
really.
with that. I'm just
But
saying,
as a percussionist, I like it.
Yeah. Glass bottles used in almost every other instance is never, almost not in like a groove-oriented setting like this. It's usually like some aleatory thing you get. You can get close to a real pitch on a glass bottle, but it's usually just unidentified pitches that you use, or you use like a gliss or something, a roll on it. The glass bottle in this setting is adding to the syncopation of everything. It's sort of almost doubling the melody, but not really. It's just adding just like a little bit of sparkle to it to elevate it to the next level.
To answer your question as well, like in a little bit of it, like a more deeper philosophical, like musicology sense.
Oh wow, bring it on.
Percussionists have like a set of instruments that we play, right? And the most well-known is drum set. Percussionists got bored with that pretty fast. So we started making our own instruments. And the best way to make your own instruments as a percussionist, because our instrument is so everything, if you just use the instruments that are made for percussion players, you get bored really fast, because there's not too many textures you can get with that. There's a lot, but there's not like an infinite amount. Glass bottles are a great sound. I think that's a really great way to get new textures in music that you wouldn't get otherwise. That's kind of how I see us using like trash as an instrument pretty often.
We did that the other day. We went for a walk and we had some sticks on us.
Now, the other thing you guys mentioned, a possible hemiola, was it when we reached the pre-chorus? Why does the melody rhythm sound so like satisfying and spread out there?
It's pretty on the beat for most of like where the melody is leading to, I guess, until the pre-chorus. And the pre-chorus is where you kind of want to gain a little bit of momentum. You want to lead into the chorus. So it makes sense that then the rhythmic backbone would get faster right before that. So it goes from being da, da, da to da, 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 like giving it a little bit more momentum, but not changing the meter.
It's not fully a hemiola because it doesn't repeat the same way. It stops on beat 4, so it goes bum, 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 restart, bum, 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 and then restart. But a hemiola would be, if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. It would take a lot longer to line up back on 1.
Yeah.
I actually really like the pre-chorus. The way that they sing it. I don't know who that vocalist is, but she's great. I think it lands really well in her vocal register, and the way that she sings it is really good because it breaks up the kind of punchy repetitiveness of the chorus.
As KATSEYE fans, how do you think this song represents each girl's voice or like the group sound?
I think because it's simple in a lot of like the arrangement of the song, like there's not, like you have these little sound effects that
sort of add to their like personality stuff, because it's like the whole thing in like the show is all about like dance, singing, star factor.
Yeah.
And so it's like all of them have a very like unique quality about them that makes you just kind of want to know more and want to like watch them do their thing. Like it's so fun to watch Yoonchae kind of do her thing, but it's also so fun to like watch Sophia's like facial expression or Megan's facial expression. Actually, all of their facial expression, but they all sort of have a different take on what the choreo is, but it's all also all synchronized.
Yeah.
So it's all very well done, but they all had their little unique flair about it.
Yeah. But
content dictates form because this is a love song.
Yeah.
About being out of touch, and so it's sort of just like a nostalgic sort of like nice pop energy.
But it's not that complicated, so it allows them to kind of show off what they do. Why their voices
content dictates form.
Yes.
What I really do appreciate is in the second verse, the melody kind of changes. Before you had so kind of highlighting the chord tones, another piece of dissonance. First verse, right? The thing about this song is that like it's very chordally like similar, but as soon as you get to like a different section in the form, like the melody is like so different from what you heard before. Maybe that is like how they want something different, but like with the significant other in this case, like it's just repeating in a cycle. Yeah, so they're kind of stuck in this cage, but they want to get out. Brief major, I think.
Sure.
If I ever call
when your relationship is like a circle of fifths, it just goes round and round and never changes.
Yeah. And then deceptive.
Like when your toxic significant other fakes you out.
Deceives you.
Calls you gnarly.
Gnarly.
We are comparing Touch with KATSEYE's latest release, Gnarly. The song highlights their attitude and boldness and speaks on experiences under the public eye since their debut. According to some fans, the song is a satirical exploration of modern pop culture, digital overstimulation, and the duality of language. The track uses the word gnarly, which can mean both
gnarly
and
gnarly
to highlight how contemporary culture often oversimplifies complex experiences throughout trendy slang. Another viewpoint on this is that simply they're saying, yeah, this thing, it's gnarly, it's cool. So it's like, what is your interpretation of the lyrics? And that's why such extreme opinions are coming out about this song. So by repeating gnarly in various contexts, the song shows how meaning can become diluted in the noise of social media and consumerism. The song is composed by Tim Randolph, Alice Longyugao, Madison Love, Pink Slip, and Jacob Kasher.
I was looking up some of these songwriters and there was, what did I find? Oh no, it was interesting because I read a comment that the sort of reception to this is similar to Fifth Harmony's Boss. And one of the songwriters also wrote Fifth Harmony's Boss. So I was like, oh, that's interesting.
I like to write controversial music.
Yeah.
Can I just, before we start, is gnarly a trendy term? Do kids say it? Because I said it when I was a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's a throwback.
It's a throwback. Oh, okay.
I say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before even listening to
wait,
this,
what's
just
going on here?
going off of the first frame, it looks like she's in one of those like containers that you get when you buy meat from the grocery store. It's like in this plastic container with some wrap around it.
How do you get this shot? Like, how do you even get this shot?
Honestly, yeah. Well, okay, if that says anything, that's what my first impression is. All right, here we go.
3, 2, 1, go.
I like this very first shot.
Describe everything with one single word.
The intro kind of goes hard though.
You know?
Oh, dang.
Fried chicken.
So gnarly is like the universal description.
This is what we're talking about.
Oh! Okay, I did see that on Twitter.
Fucking gnarly.
Okay, shut up. Gang gang. Oh my god.
I love the beat.
I almost have like a fire alarm in the back giving me
Oh my goodness.
Let's go.
This is like the Mortal Kombat rhythm. You know what I'm saying?
I knew it would be crazy, but
Sounding a little less
Triplet out of nowhere?
Not an anti-drop, but the beat drops a little later than you'd expect.
Do Takis make you?
Oh my goodness.
Takis are not the shit,
Takis is the shit.
but they are gnarly.
I'm like bobbing my head reluctantly.
Phrygian is the
Yeah, I like
best
that
mode
doubling.
for this type of song.
Definitely.
I dig this.
They're the shit.
Why is it kind of camp?
It is campy, for sure. I think that's what they were going for.
Oh.
I like that.
Let's go.
Yes, Lara.
Is that Google Translate?
I'm not.
You're gnarly, I'm not Lee.
They just killed someone. They just threw her over.
No, I hate those. Lara, please. No. They had them at our school cafeteria.
Or their chips are called gnarl.
They're so bad.
That bass is too clean. That bass needs the same amount of distortion.
I like that line. Like a bag of Takis, that's cool.
Oh my gosh, are there 2 flies like doing it?
Whoa.
They paid for CGI for that beat of
Yeah.
the other beat.
I've got a job for you, CGI artist.
Also, I do not like the men doing weird AI altered faces
No.
at them. I don't like it.
Yeah, that's weird.
I think it's weird.
I think it's
anyway.
meant to be symbolic, though.
I know. Yeah, sure, it's symbolic.
sorry,
it just makes me sad.
It'd be a fun one to jam to, like this song.
Interesting.
Oh.
What happened to touch?
Also, another
Gnarly.
surprisingly short song.
I love how they had Yoonchae, the Korean member, open up with English. The only one who like doesn't speak fluent English.
I think that's
pretty cool.
Gives it some like.
I think it's so cool how far she's come.
Yeah, I'm proud of her.
Very proud.
Did you like it? I wasn't sure how you were going to think of this.
I mean, I kind of hate it, but I will listen to it again.
Can we what? What could you possibly
Can we
want
please
right
listen
now?
to that again?
Oh my god.
Because hear me out. That the shock is down. I want to listen to that again. Can we listen to it again?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. We could talk about
Can
it
I get like
first,
some
then-
time to breathe?
Yeah. Yeah, we can talk about it, then listen again.
This first time through, were there any musical elements specifically that
No.
jumped out to you? You were just shocked by the video and the lyrics and...
I was following the lyrics more so, but I recognized that the chorus, you know, really the whole thing had pretty hard-hitting production.
Okay, so the second time around will be...
I'm going to be paying attention to more of like as a whole rather than, because I know what they're talking about kind of. I actually don't know what they're talking about. What are they talking about?
I don't know, dude.
You know what it's like?
Tell me.
It's like Hannah Montana going to twerking Miley Cyrus. Like it's such a
Oh,
big
yeah.
difference
Yeah,
in like
yeah.
attitude and how they want to present themselves, you know?
I liked it. I wouldn't call like this arrangement gnarly. I think something that I was kind of looking for, my favorite part is like the very beginning with that really, really grating filter they put on
Yeah.
their voice. I loved that, and it was setting me up for something like, oh, this is like almost too much for me, but I don't think it is too much for me.
You guys also explained this groove to be P-H-A-T. Can you explain why?
Did we say fat?
I said fat.
He did.
I think it's fat just because it's slow. I mean, sometimes that's all you really need, but it's just not super subdivided. So they use the space in a way that makes it feel like big.
The bass swell just like pops out of the texture. Like usually it's just kind of
Yeah.
under, but for one of them it's like I'm the important note and it drops down. I also think it's the sounds.
Oh
You know what I'm saying? Like bum 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 ba-dum, but it's kind of like gritty. There's sort of that grunginess to it. It's sort of not super staccato, but not super legato. It's somewhere in the middle.
To me, it's like the aesthetic of like a giant
Oh, yeah.
walking. Like when a giant's walking from place to place.
Okay, yeah, they almost have that sort of, like, you know, when you're playing guitar, you can set the gain. They almost have like that gain like cracked up. Not all the way, but it's like you can tell that there's some sort of distortion on this sound.
Just get a little bit ugly.
Yeah, I think that is what to me feels gnarly about this, the sounds.
It's very hyper pop.
It's hyper pop, yeah. I think one of the producers is known for that. Yeah.
There's some interesting effects in this one, I think, which really set it apart. Like
They play into it.
All of the distortions of the various gnarly and like the different ways that they're treating that at the end of the choruses add some spice each time that you listen.
Oh, this thing.
This part is awesome.
So we have the rhythmic acceleration there, where it starts off slow, and gets quicker, right? But the pitch does the opposite. So you sort of would expect
that the pitch goes up when it gets quicker,
just because of the way the waves move. Like if a wave, like a sound wave, is moving quicker,
it's going to be a higher pitch.
And if it's moving slower, it's
going to be a lower pitch.
So when you hear the acceleration of the rhythm,
You think it's going to follow that rhythm and go up.
but it's actually doing the opposite. So we start here, and it has this cross, and then it does that. So I think that's what makes that section really interesting.
I also think the lack of the beat then just makes it feel so much fatter, like right away.
Every single effect, like throughout each verse, it becomes so memorable, like Yoonchae was speaking at the beginning.
I think the song is very well constructed. I think that if someone else like says this is like one of the best K-pop releases, or they love it, or it's like a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, I would totally get it. It was fantastic. For me, that main sound that they do that's like kind of like lo-fi and like not lo-fi, you know what I mean. Just like kind of, it feels kind of like purposefully amateurish indie, like boo. I think that type of aesthetic mixed with a big production pop release is not really for me. I prefer if they stayed in like a really like, I did this in my basement and you can hear it because it sounds so gnarly. I would have preferred that.
Like it's too clean in every other aspect.
I think so. I think so. Even like maybe the structure of it. Like there are times where like it sounds like a transition could like really tip the song over to something crazy, but then it goes back to the structure that it was already developing. But I still think it's a success.
As far as like, you know, the form of the song and you know, any changes that happen, there's not really much there. Is there? Am I missing something? There's a lot of cool elements in there, but like nothing really stands out to me.
The development is pretty subtle, but there is, like, for example, the first time the da 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 is just the synth, and then the second time they add in the vocals, and then they also add in the na 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 na.
I missed it.
So like little subtle changes like that.
They add layers.
Like an onion.
I agree. I think like this whole song is very meticulous. After listening to it a couple of like for the second time, they do like a lot of care to not make it overwhelming, which is one aspect that I was like expecting from the title Gnarly. I was expecting it to be like a little bit too much for me, but it totally wasn't. They like very carefully added new things, especially in the verses. They add in like stop times, they add in new textures, which I really, really appreciate considering the song goes back to those lyrics like pretty frequently. Like each section is like pretty short.
So things I liked, the instrumentals, fire.
Slay.
The choreo,
Gnarly.
fire. It has all the right components, like sort of the silent intro with the speaking. I think that's such like a funny intro.
It's so
I
funny.
kind of dig the spoken intro. I think that's kind of fun. And so it's very simple. So it starts simple with just 1, 3, 1, 3. 1, 3, and then also a bunch of other like sort of like creaky sounds and stuff. And then it kind of builds to like the dance bit. And so it builds all the way up, builds, and then there's sort of an anti-drop moment. Not really, because it's not
just
what an
delayed
anti-drop.
a little
But
bit,
the drop is delayed, and so there's a silent first beat where they start singing the chorus lyrics, and then sort of, you know, goes through that form again. And it's similar to Touch, where it's like it's only those two sections twice in an outro.
Yeah. Okay, what I've been hearing a lot about this song is that you have to listen to it like 10 times to enjoy it. And people are like hating on the lyrics.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I saw on Instagram this morning.
You are correct. Making beats for a boring dumb bitch.
Okay.
You
like those lyrics?
I like the I like some of the meta commentary. I like making beats for a dumb bitch line. Yeah. I'm just quoting here, right? I actually kind of appreciate that, like from a satirical angle and like from a meta sort of angle here. Like that's kind of cool. Whoever wrote these lyrics, we need to have a serious talk. It's a comment. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think the lyrics are that crazy. I mean, they're definitely different, but I don't think they're that crazy. I've heard way worse than this.
That reminds me of the Gwen Stefani, like it's my shit, it's my shit. The way they say, I'm the shit, there's like a punchiness that feels punchy, gentle punchiness.
I think it's fine.
I'm trying to think of an example of
especially because it's such a gigantic difference in the production behind them, like between Touch and Gnarly. This is like night and day.
Yeah, I mean, it's two different. We're on opposite ends of the spectrum.
The instrumental is kind of more hard-hitting. I think the lyrics should be a little bit more abrasive. Making beats for a dumb bitch. Fucking perfect. It's exactly what they should be talking about. They can't be talking about Touch.
Yeah. Well, no, of course. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They're going for like shock value.
Yeah.
If a K-pop group released this, people would eat it up. It would be
It's
so
true,
good.
actually. Yeah, no, you're so right.
Okay, I think that's really true because, like,
well, I think it's the expectation of English lyrics in a K-pop.
Yes, but
full Korean speaking ensemble versus a full English speaking ensemble.
Well, because as someone that doesn't speak Korean, there are songs that I know have like horribly nonsensical or just like really weird lyrics, but they're in Korean. So that's kind of like an opt-in system for me to understand that. I'm sure this is exactly in English what a lot of K-pop songs sound like in Korean. I would understand if it's like a Korean songwriter that like doesn't speak English or something, that like it's
but
kind
all these songs are all English.
They're English songwriters, so it's like you can change that and you can tell when it sounds
forced.
Yeah, but it's in English, so then English speakers, like you can't have those same nonsensical lyrics that you could have, or just lyrics that you straight up don't understand. Mm-hmm. That's kind of one of the kinks to work out.
In these like global...
In the global group kind of thing. Because it's like, who are you appealing to?
I don't think that the lyrics are stupid in a way like, oh, this song is bad because the lyrics are not pointing towards like a super complex meaning. I think it's supposed to just stand on its own.
It was gnarly.
It was pretty gnarly. It actually did get both of the definitions of gnarly in there.
I honestly think I'm for the second one more.
Which one is the second
The second definition of gnarly, because you said the second one is just like, oh, it's just gnarly. Like, it has nothing to do with...
The second interpretation. You think that this is just like random and there's no deeper meaning?
Yeah, for me, that's sort of what I think. I think they were just like, let's make a song about gnarly and let's just make it as crazy as we can.
This is perfect, because I see the other way.
Okay.
I think like gnarly can be trashy, like super trashy, and this song's pretty trashy. Gnarly can be really cool, and this song is super badass. I think they did a good job of getting both of those in there. Both of the different, I guess, the dichotomy of like what it means to be gnarly.
The abrasive synth bass is just like everything for me. I love it so much. It like makes my body vibrate in sympathy.
In sympathy?
Sympathetic vibration.
I think the beats and like the production technique and the vocals are all, I think those are like genuine. I think that's like, oh, we want to make something that's like hard and like heavy and shocking.
The feeling of edginess is so exacerbated by this flat 2 motion.
Wait, is this G Phrygian?
That's what it feels like. Rape me.
I think your first intuition was right. G is 1.
Yeah, right?
So the second verse, love Lara. She did her best with the delivery. And because what was funny, because what I did is that I pulled up the lyrics after not listening to it for a while, because I want to like explain my feelings in an educated way. I put in the instrumental, and so I was reading the lyrics along, and I could not recall how they said the lyric. They didn't jam it in the actual saying of the lyrics, so is fucking gnarly. So it's like sort of awkward, it's off-putting because it's sort of offset, so all of like the main lyrics are happening as pickups in a way.
It just sounds like they happen to be talking while there's a beat at the same time, which is like so funny. But I feel like the delivery, like they're trying to sound like a Valley girl.
I think the vocal tone of her delivery, it's just interesting that like rhythmically, it just feels so disjointed. Like on first listen, I can't think like where, because when I was listening, I was like, this song, like the view is freaking gnarly instead of this view is frickin' gnarly.
Yeah.
So it's sort of, again, it's like the emphasis is on sort of the weird parts syllable. Of the
But that might be
prose.
intentional in this. I think with the delivery of like making beats for a boring dumb bitch. She's saying in this very like Valley girl tone, which is not how like Lara doesn't speak like that like normally. I feel like that's supposed to be like calling back to Touch. Because there were a lot of people that just like, this is such like boring, like basic bitch music, you know? And like, I love a good basic bitch song.
This is a case of content dictates form, because the content is that we are gnarly, we are badass bitches.
Yes.
We are here to put our new sort of view of ourselves out in the world and really make some waves and show how much we've grown the past 2 years and da-da-da-da. So we're gonna write this really boss-ass track.
Yeah.
What I appreciate about KATSEYE is that they're not following a specific niche the entire time. You know, all of the title tracks that they've done so far are so different from each other. So like Touch being super chill, Gnarly being gnarly as fuck, and then in the middle like Debut is like
Mister, I don't like swearing.
Can you see why so many people are like super shocked by this song?
Oh, compared to their last song,
one?
yeah, definitely,
Absolutely.
definitely. If that's their norm, and they dropped something like this, I would just be like, whoa, this is super out there for them. Like, I wouldn't expect them to do something like this. But I think
this is
they
like going
pulled it
from
off.
Sabrina Carpenter to Doja Cat.
There's a very simple juxtaposition here as to why people like Touch and why people don't like Gnarly. The sound world of Touch is just way more gentle, and Gnarly is extremely aggressive. And if you don't like that kind of abrasive texture in your ear, like a lot of people don't like a lot of chaotic, loud sounds. If people have complaints about lyrics, like I don't think Touch is that much better. Maybe this one is a lot more random. At a very basic aesthetic conceptual level, Touch is going to be a lot more approachable and re-listenable than Gnarly, which is very intense.
They do have a clean version. Was
That's
not
funny.
released as its own, but it is what is performed
Wait.
on live TV.
Because it's hottie hottie, this ain't just a hobby. I'm legit instead. And then it still keeps the
That's
second
actually
one.
better.
I like it
think.
better because I think it actually shows the meaning of the song more. It's like,
Why couldn't they just, I'm
cool.
a hottie hottie. This ain't just a hobby.
me.
I'm the shit. Like, why?
I'm the shit, and I like I'm the shit.
Yeah.
I think I'm the shit is fun.
The swearing in this is like perfect
I
for
agree.
this release. I think it wouldn't have the same impact if they didn't have so much swearing.
Yeah.
I think it is more on the satirical side. I don't think they care so much about it that deep. It's probably just they really want it to be shocking and attention grabbing, and like it's getting a lot of attention. It's getting a lot of controversy, and controversy is great for this stuff.
Is it bad or is it bad but in a camp way? You know, like I would rather have a song that I either love or hate than one that's like
Yeah, exactly.
in
So I
between.
think, but it gets a reaction out of you.
Exactly.
Like I haven't had a reaction to this, to like a K-pop or K-pop adjacent song in a long time.
second, yeah.
Like that sort of visceral reaction is honestly is going to be good for them, I think. And I'm curious to see what they're going to do for the rest, what the concept
Like
for the
the
rest of the album is going to
album,
be. So this really puts them on the map. Like everyone's reacting to them. Everyone's talking about them. They're not going to go into obscurity because everyone's going to talk about them.
because that's what everyone said was going to happen. Was like, oh, they were going to have
And now
touch,
people are
and then
going to
nothing
be
else
like,
is going to happen.
yeah, and then everyone's going to be curious. Oh, what's the rest of their album going to sound like?
I like the integration of the gnarly stuff with the global stuff, with the mainstreamified stuff. It's not really for me yet. You're gonna ask me if touch is better, I don't know.
All right, folks. Touch or gnarly?
Touch.
I could go either way. Probably gnarly.
Django
Oh
goes
boy,
first.
I don't know. Touch.
I think I like gnarly more.
This is literally like, it's the meme. This is like hydrogen bomb versus like sleeping baby.
Or 100 Men versus Gorilla.
This is like Ultra Instinct Goku versus like Bulma or something.
Bulma.
Like, it's not-
Touch for me. I like the more laid back vibe.
Gnarly. I like the aggression.
I think
Probably
on
touch.
principle I have to go touch, but you know.
But I will be listening to this again.
She will be listening. I mean, I've been like rage listening for the last 24 hours. And honestly, I feel like this is having the sticker effect on me. The more I listen to it, the more I'm like, you know what, I don't care. I think it's kind of fun. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like,
I'm like in my room, hottie, hottie. This ain't just a hobby. I'm the shit. I'm the shit. Ah!
I think gnarly is more to my liking.
I think I musically am more interested by gnarly, but I think like touch is
Your
more
heart.
like, yeah, just like personal preference of listening.
I think it's because it is so shocking. It got more of a reaction out of me, and that's what I want more than anything.
Yeah.
Like if I like the song, fine, but if I really like have a strong feeling about it, that is more attractive to me.
I like their experimentation. They're not following the same thing, the same like formula every time. No, it's something that worked for them before. They're following that formula of like TikTokable sound bites, and that is really nice. Like gnarly, touch, 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 touch.
You know, like it takes a lot of confidence, but they have that confidence, so it really works for them.
Because I was trying to figure out why the vocal harmonies are so beautiful and so satisfying in the chorus.
It's very crunchy, so you can tell that there's like at least major seconds in there for sure.
Fun. I like this song.
And there.
It's a fun one.
That was violent.
That was fun.
That was a violent reaction.
I liked it.
Woo!